We are back for another installment of Move Well. We got 3 exercises. These are all body weight. You don't need any kind of implements for this one. Just either a mat or a surface that's going to be a little bit knee friendly. First thing we're going to do is a bird dog. Most of you have done this one before. It's one of those exercises to me though that is often maybe not done quite the way it should. So we're going to kind of really break it down for you here. Basically, we're going to get what we call quadruped, or all four position rather. We're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, hands about shoulder width apart, knees about hip width apart. Now what I'm going to start with is I'm going to tuck my chin in gently and do a full exhale as I gently push into the floor with my hands. Now this is the position I want to stay in from here on out. Setting my spine in a good alignment here. I'm braced around my midsection. Maybe I take a couple of practice breaths in and out, making sure I can maintain this position. Now, once we kind of establish that alignment and we're able to brace and breathe, we're going to add some movements. We're going to take one arm and the opposite leg, and we're going to extend them fully. So my suggestion would be to start by keeping the pinky on the one hand down on the ground, toes on the opposite leg down. And as we exhale, we're going to just extend, keeping a good balance. And then just think about making your arm and leg nice and long, pushing away from the ground with the opposite hand, and then bring it back in to your starting point. The same thing on the other side. If you have to reset that position with that exhale, gentle push it to the ground. So the key is to keep your shoulders and your hips facing the ground. Try not to get a lot of side-to-side movement through any part of your spine during this movement. So it's really important to keep that nice, stable spine that you set at the beginning. Then make sure you're breathing as you add that movement. We're going to do about 6 to 10 per side, nice and controlled. You can modify those reps. You know, if you can only do 2 or 3 per side now and gradually build up, that's fine. Next exercise we're going to do is what we call hip flexor mobilization. Think of these muscles right here. Again, we talk about this a lot. If you sit for hours a day, this is going to be a really great exercise to kind of mobilize these, stretch them out a little bit. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to get into our half kneeling position again. All right, up nice and tall. Again, exhale. If you feel those abs, squeeze your backside. You put your hands on top of the forward leg, tuck in that chin. And it's really important here that you really squeeze those butt muscles. You want to keep that hip nice and stable. And then we're just going to go forward and back. Tiny little oscillations forward and back. Do about 10 per side. So once I'm done with this side, I'll set up on the other side. So again, what we're really focusing on stretching or mobilizing is the front of the back leg. So again, up nice and tall. Set your position. Squeeze the backside. Now, make this a little bit more challenging and add a little bit of work to our hamstrings by, again, getting in that same position. We're going to grab our back leg, put your hand here or out to the side or wherever. Then we're going to do the same thing. Make sure you're really squeezing the butt the whole time. Doesn't have to be very big range of motion. Again, about 10 per side. Third exercise today, we're calling them lying hip rotations. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to keep our upper body out of it. I'm going to show you in the setup. And then we're just going to rotate our hips side to side. So this is really a good way to kind of get that disassociation from our ribs and upper body and our hips. All right, so we're going to start, arms out to the side, Key here, keep those arms down. Make sure both shoulder blades stay down on the floor the entire time. All right? So again, we can brace through our core, our midsection. Exhale, feel those muscles kind of fire up. And then just maintain that as you're able to breathe. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take one leg, reach over, look over the opposite shoulder, go as far as I can without those shoulder blades coming up. And then I'm going to rotate to the other side. So really reach with your feet as far as you can without those shoulder blades coming up. We'll do about 5 per side. So go through those exercises, about 3 to 5 rounds. You should be feeling pretty good when you're done.